Spirit's got a ward. This is... I mean, I guess it's just on whoever gets the stun off first. Yeah, the Spirit, they know that there's a ward there. Toronto Tokyo is pinging it.
30 seconds to battle.
They're not going to go for the D ward. Oh, there they go. Yeah, because they saw it in the inventory with the ward that they had placed. Surprised there was no fighting there. I'm quite surprised. Both teams not willing to risk running into 5 heroes and just seeing what the hell happens.
Battle begins.
Yeah, won't be able to do anything with that. It's just going to be the
one for one. We chilling. See, how many sticks do we have in this game? How many sticks we got? How many on the Spirit side? That's a relatively stickless game, actually.
Yeah. And this time we've got, what, 33 on his beast to just be going for the straight helm rush.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The classic. You don't need regen. That's what supports are for.
Saxa ready to help out with the 6 stand goes to start with. Let's see how these matchups go. So as we saw with the bans, the Tundra, they were trying to set up for 9 to have a solid, easy lane in the mid. Should he get that against a Puck? It's going to be pretty simple for him to maximize farm straight for the start as a call.
I think both will do fine. And they're basically the same hero. You just nuke the wave out from far away. Puck can definitely dodge the Coddle Blast, though. So, I think both heroes will be more than happy to farm here. I think Coddle will probably out-farm, though.
Top lane. This is going to be some good blocking here from Collapse. Snaking getting very, very low, but Skeeter's in with the stun.
That's Snaking just being cheeky. Just zoning out 2 heroes there. Such good base stats. It's all, every time Bane gets nerfed, it's like it still seems like he's such a pain in the ass to lane against. Sox is going to actually opt to cut the wave. So on the bot lane, Tundra is looking to play passive. They just want a 50-50. Get the Beastmaster his Helm Dom or his Helm of Iron Will, and then maybe after that play the lane a little bit more aggressively with some levels.
And of course, considering this bottom lane, we heard from the panel that not necessarily the biggest fans of Luna at the moment. I mean, what was sort of your opinion on this hero as a carry right now?
I know carries still like it. Like I've just heard from carry players, it's not that bad. Like B tier, I think. There are generally better carries, mostly because the Lucent Beam build has been nerfed so much, like the cooldown on it, the damage, and that was kind of like the unique way to play Luna. Before, it's still decent, but you can always play Luna with Satanics and just be like a regular, right-clicking type hero.
Some really good blocking from the 2 of them, but of course once that Lucid Beam's gone, the Saxa knows that he has a free way out with the TP. Top lane, Mirror. It's going to be a run down, and that'll be first blood. Skeeter finishes the job.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tough lane for a little Pugna. Can definitely feed in against a Bane CK. I think we saw the Bane CK in the first game, actually, on the flip side, where you would have the Bane just nightmare, and then CK gets all this time to run over and get into position. Nice little double stack from 9, just playing to farm, which I think this is fair on the mid lane. Like,
middle tower
Puck is just going to push the wave out as well, so you may as well push the wave out faster and just kill multiple camps instead of only killing the easy camp. Because realistically, Puck can only farm the easy camp.
Of course, as we've seen, especially for 9 on his Cottle, when he gets this space and start, he starts hitting some insane timings. When you look at what Spirit have, do you imagine we're going to get any chance for Spirit to be able to come over to this area, this mid part of the map, and slow 9 down at all at the start?
When Puck gets coil, I think when Toronto Tokyo has coil, you can go for that play. I think it's definitely fine to go for that play, but the Spirit supports are a little bit... there's not a Bane, there's not really like a setup hero. It's Rubick and Pugna are kind of +1s, so it is a bit weird. Not exactly like great gankers, but yeah, I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, I think you're always going to go for a play like that. That's just kind of how Puck is. Somebody steps out of position, you go for the coil, like no matter what lane they're in.
Let's see what Saxa can find.
What does he get? Oh, it takes the tornado.
Bottom. Pugna trying to some denies in under the tower there after 33 drags the wave round, but does have to be a bit careful, especially with stacks are coming back over. Those 33, it's got a fair bit of damage to work with those 2 points in the axes.
Pugna's actually going to look for him. Instead of interrupting, he just right-clicks him to death. Yeah. Not much kill threat in this lane. For either side, honestly. I don't know if...
I mean, they're going to try. That Fade Bolt stacks are getting low. Dude isn't quite enough.
He's got a Fairy Fire. He's kind of debating there. Yatoro also has 9 stick charges, so he's more than comfortable down here, even though he's at 50% HP. He's happy enough. Speaking of happy, 9 is really enjoying his time.
This is just a textbook 9 Cottle start to the game. Maximum farm. Efficiency couldn't be any better here.
That's just a crazy amount of net worth of CS. 60 CS at 5 minutes. That's wild. 5 camp stacked.
Well, bottom lane caught very, very low there. The two of them. Stacks are in 33. As Toronto Tokyo finds an easy dream coil. They were not prepared for the puck to turn up like that.
Yeah, that is one thing a Cottle can't really do at this point, is turn up and kill 2 heroes in a lane like that. So Toronto Tokyo is basically like, well, you're going to farm? I'm going to farm your heroes.
That was a really nice quick move. And with the fact that, you know, Nine's sort of spending that time hitting the jungle, the creeps are going to be pushed up and might not always be able to give that immediate information that the middle is missing.
Yeah, and it's not like 9 is going to really pressure the tower either. No. It's a Cottle, it's not a Visage, you know? Although he's got the boots of travel already, and he is TPing bot to the Hawk. This is an early timing. I don't know if it... Okay. There's no kill threat here.
Radiant's
definitely
a lot of push.
A lot of push.
Let's see if they can try and get their hands on the posture. And they will deal with the knockback. Oh, there we... I mean, 9.
That's really great from Team Spirit, though, because they pulled this giant wave that was protecting the catapult, and they separate like that. So you either have to go with the wave and kill the Rubick, or dive with no wave and go for the carry. Although, now there is another wave.
I mean, yeah, Nine's just getting ready to start playing with them here, bouncing them around. TP's coming in, you saw it. Dodge that blast. The 6 in the row, they'll use that to just hold back Toronto Tokyo. Saxa will be left behind the tower. Spirit, they get the kill, and they'll keep their tower alive. Really wanting to make sure that they don't buckle to the pressure of Tundra on this bottom lane.
Yeah, these are great rotations from Spirit. This is exactly what needs to happen to stop this, like, crazy death ball that could have occurred. They're actually going to get 33, it looks like, too. There's Coil.
As TP's coming down here from Tundra.
Tower is under attack.
So if they can keep him safe, 33 is going to be trapped. As Toronto Tokyo and Mira get over to the other side of him, he's got nowhere to run. Spirit really breaking up exactly what Tundra want to achieve here with those early focus, that focus on the bottom lane.
That would have been an insane solo kill. But, and Collapse is playing on really low HP.
See over in the mid, snaking. It's got a DD, so some extra damage coming in through that Nightmare with the right clicks. Mira trying to duke it out with the trees. He'll put the stick charge, but Snaking's got it. Yeah, but it was mid as well. Pugna trying to run, but Saxa staying on top of him. 9 blast him out of the game. Saxa turned upon by Yatoro. He's got enough regen though to walk it off. Yatoro won't be able to find him in return. These blasts from 9 consistently coming out. I mean, he's already just dealing so much damage here in this early game.
This is a classic Yatoro move, by the way, moving towards the mid lane. I remember Tokyo should be fine.
I'll tell you what,
he's maybe not fine, actually.
He's not. That DD rune on Snaking there pretty much got them the 2 kills. This Bane coming in with some heavy punches.
You see a Puck versus a level 5 Bane, you think, like, there's no way, but he had the level 3 brain sap up that entire time. Anyway, I remember something at TI. A lot of people were talking about Yatoro and how on these ranged heroes he goes mid instead of going to the off lane, because this happens if you go to the off lane.
And here's the set up top. It's just so hard to get away from these heroes. 9. He's already starting to give us again one of those world-class mid-call performances. 3 kills straight up. And the farm, no signs of stopping. Already 5k net worth at 9.5 minutes in. And on the mid, 9. Gonna be able to get any control. So Toronto tries for the phase shift there.
Hit him, actually.
Hit by the blast. I mean, it's just terrifying, Jane, because this Carl running all over the place. You know, you've got to be on top of your game here if you're Spirit. You've got to be ready for 9 just to be appearing from all angles at all times.
Yeah, he's everywhere, and he's picking up an Orchid too, so eventually this guy's going to have disable for the puck. You have to be so careful. Any of these heroes, I think including the DK, will die to an Orchid, plus just like the Coddle +1. And you can kill any of these heroes on the side of Team Spirit.
And as we say now, you've got to imagine that Spirit, they felt that they're going to have a way to deal with this, because those last 2 final bans from them, it was pretty much like the Bat and the Invoker. They left the Coddle in and out, because I don't think you're forgetting about the Coddle when playing against Tundra.
No.
You know it's going to be there.
Especially not Spirit. No, they've thought about this hero a lot. Like they felt like they could deal with it, and it's looking like they can't so far.
Toronto Tokyo.
Not 9.
As soon as they sort of show this, if you're caught by the root into the stun, he's in a lot of trouble here. He'll drop the Dream Core, but he's knocked back into the blast. They're struggling with it.
Tanking is 6. And Miposhka is not, so there's no steal that can come in from the Fiend's Grip.
I mean, just blast after blast, kill after kill. It's 9. 5 kills already.
I think they can go smoke. Tanking's still got his Fiend's Grip up.
He's got... I mean, yeah, the amount of gold this call has, it's just insane. Here we go. Straight away. 500 gold. The Orchid's going to be here. Almost certainly a record timing after the bots.
Yeah, that's insane. I feel like he was just halfway to it, but every time he shows up to a lane, he gets a couple of kills, and he's actually getting the bounty for these kills, too. It's not like he's just contributing to them. He's CSing them. So he's 5-0-0. None of the kills that he showed up for, he's just assisted in. He's getting all of the kills, so he's massive.
And with the way he's sort of playing the edge of the fights, the only one really that has a chance of setting up on him is Toronto Tokyo. But as we're seeing, when he goes in to look for the Dream Coil, Tundra, they've got ways to catch the puck. It's not like they lack the ability to make sure that, you know, if Toronto Tokyo's committing, he will get punished.
Right. It's like there's a lot of projected ways to catch him, like the Roar, the Doom, the Ensnare that we saw come out. But there's just so many.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's getting caught by one eventually.
I'd say it's not an easy game for him.
It's not, no. But not for like super obvious reasons. I mean, the Bane is a good solution to puck, but still, it is one of the more projected ones when you're talking instant disables. Like the Bane has to walk up, and Fiend's Grip's not that long of a range. They're setting up top.
I'll be lucky enough there, Collapse, to be just out of range of the Rift.
I like that Tundra does this. I've seen them do this in a lot of other games, where they just go posture somewhere where it looks like they're about to do some crazy Tundra shit, and then there's this massive response of TPs, and then immediately chain the play into a smoke somewhere else. Because now you know that there are 2 heroes that cannot get there if they make a play towards bot.
Spirit do seem to be aware of that sort of play from Tundra.
Oh, they
maybe
see
Toronto
Tokyo.
Yeah, he's got to get out.
Great vision from Miposhka. Like, he is
under attack.
protecting his team with his positioning. If he dies, who cares? It doesn't matter. Collapse. He's got a juke here.
Well, they've caught him with the silence and the stun. And there we go, course 9, easily moving him back into the blast. That's another one for 9.
You know, a Coddle being this far ahead is so scary, just because the move speed that he has, as well as the cast range, means it just feels like he's everywhere. You know, like, look at this. I mean, he still spent a lot of time around the mid lane, but that's a lot. That's a lot of... What color is he? Why is that coming up as brown?
Radiant's courier has been
I guess the heat map just has the brown as the color, the base color. But he's everywhere, and it's like he can be standing, you know, halfway between the tier 1 and the fountain and still catch somebody at the tier 1. You know what I mean? He can stand at the tier 2, catch somebody at the tier 1. I mean, like the range that he has is just so insane, and it's hard to go on him too because he's just so fast. And the distance that he can keep between you and him, it's like you need to smoke and get this guy. But the later and later the game goes, the faster he gets. And does he get more cast range? He does. More cast, way more cast range actually. 250 right now.
For Spirit, they're still finding the farm for Yatoro. He's making good progress in the jungle. It's just everywhere else around him as his other two cores unable to find the ability to make these moves against a much more mobile lineup of Tundra. Means that they will continue to fall behind, and a lot of the game will look to rest on the shoulders of Yatoro.
The problem is I don't see Luna 1v5ing anymore.
I mean, especially in a game like this, right? There's so much sort of like single target. A lot of these heroes, they're a big problem for Luna.
And Mapochka's almost certainly dead. I don't see how he survives this. Even gonna use the grip just to make sure that if anybody shows up to this, they're not gonna help out.
Oh, this is getting pretty rough. This is sort of leaning the same way of the speed of performance that Tundra brought out in game 1.
Yeah, this is what they love to do. They need to catch 9.
We'll see top lane. I'm gonna try and take him down with the Eclipse, but Skeeter's able to walk off to the side. And he's away. He's got backup as well, so Spirit, it's hard for them to really just blindly chase into this. There's 9. Around the trees and back under the safety of the tier 1. Spirit won't be able to kill either of these.
It's just so hard to catch Caudle because of the distance that he can keep between you and him while he's contributing to a fight. He didn't even have the Spirit form there either.
And on the mid, 9, as soon as he's running away from your top, he's appearing in the mid and killing off a support.
Yeah, he has Arcane Ear, and so Spirit form is like 5 seconds downtime or something like that right now. And Boots of Travel, of course.
Now they're just going to run
9 seconds. He has them up again. He can go bot if he wants to.
Radiant's middle tower is
See what they can find here, Spirit.
Radiant structure.
Can they prepare for this move that Tundra's about to make? Shitoro, he's out. Straight away in the trees. He'll bail out of there. They'll leave behind the puck. And Mira also with no chance of escape. TP's on cooldown, even if he had the chance to use it. Another kill for Tundra. 14-4. And 33. He's going to start going for the Roche.
Yeah. Yeah, he could almost solo it at this point. I think he's basically soloing it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wild Axes. Very nice spell.
I'll see Skeeter and Snake King turn up. Make sure they get that Aegis into the hands of Skeeter. 17 minutes in, and now with the Aegis on the CK, you're going to expect Tundra to start looking towards those tier 2s. It's just a question really if Spirit's going to get to a point where they can fight around their Luna, get Yatoro involved. As we saw that even on that top play, it's not easy for him, and even when he is there, still doubts of whether there's going to be enough damage to get these kills if they catch the members of Tundra.
The good news for Spirit is that the only hero that's really going to be taking the towers is Beastmaster. Caudle, one of the worst tower takers in the game. He does heal, so it's sustain. But in terms of actually doing damage to the tower, there's nothing. In CK, this is an illusion-based hero. Doesn't do very much damage to the towers until very late into the game. So Spirit does get to go late. However, I don't know if they want to. I don't know if they even win late game with Luna. This is not like the PA where there's this super solid 3-item timing that you can always win on. Like a CK versus a Luna with 3 items, I think the CK wins that.
I think, especially when you could just consider the things that they have to control the Luna through the BKB, right?
Yeah.
You're getting roared.
It's not
getting rifted about.
The Doom this time.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things. So like,
yeah.
You can't just 5x Lincolns this because there are 5 things to cancel the Lincolns.
It's a tough game for Yatoro to carry. And not on a hero that's quite got the sort of the same extreme level of potential as a PA as we saw him on last game. Much harder as a Luna.
Tundra's kind of baiting this. Baiting the creeps. Oh, never mind. Just waiting for Skeeter.
Top tower has been denied.
They're being respectful on Tundra. They really respect Spirit's ability to jump the backlines and win a fight despite being at a deficit in this game.
They've got the blink on Toronto Tokyo. And it's still a bit of a window where 9 hasn't quite got the BKB. He is close though. So of course when that BKB's there, then they stand no chance of killing this call. In the mid. Quick easy grab onto Mira.
Mira's 0-6. He has just not been able to have an impact in this game. He's basically a Nether Ward, and the Nether Ward is being scouted out by the Hawk in the trees, so that's even dying. He's just not been able to play Dota this game. And 33 got the shittiest creep that exists.
Well, I mean, it's not bad for doing the building,
Dude,
right?
I'm telling you.
It's building damage.
I'm telling you.
Is it not a lot of damage?
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. Like, you know, shout out to the ancient ice shaman.
Oh, actually, yeah, I guess it's what it's. Yeah, it's not a lot.
It's really not a lot.
The spell amounts to what 100 damage to a building.
It's one of those things you get really excited when you see it in the camp. You're like, I'm gonna try the new creep, and it's just awful. 33 is gonna, you know.
Yeah, you got mana to do so. 4 of those, each do 100 damage to a tower, so it's 400 damage to a tower.
Yep. Yep.
Radiant structures
For like 60 seconds.
But I mean, he's got a fair bit of right click, of course, for all these buffs. You know,
Yeah,
and a good range as well.
It's all right.
You know, you're keeping him at a distance. He's, you know, shooting his staff at the towers.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd definitely rather the other ones, though. He'll probably.
Radiant's middle tower
if it's the only
has
one
fallen.
available, of course you'll take it, but they'll be going back for some others. I just think it's a funny creep to get. It's a really funny one. It's always so exciting, and then you see it on the tower, and it's like, oh, it's just decent, you know. Especially with the troll summoner being in the game, you know.
Yeah, it's
you
like,
feel like the ancient should be something better than that, but the troll summoner is just insane for taking towers.
Well, ready to go for another tier 2 here, Tundra. They didn't meet any sort of response in the mid push. The same, maybe steady. They're smoking up Team Spirit.
This is the fight. Yatoro's got his BKB. Soxa's looking top.
Middle tower is under attack.
There's a small window here where Spirit can take a fight.
Let's see what they can do. They get the jump on Skeeter. 30 seconds to Aegis.
Dire's middle tower.
See how they go around this. To try and get him the once, but they're not quite finishing him off. There we go. Taking him out. The BKB is there, but the wall from 33 immediately in return and into the Fiend Script. They're locking down Yatoro, but the silence will put an end to the Fiend Script, but now Yatoro with the remainder of his BKB has to run. Skeeter trying to pull him back with the Rift. He's able to grab him. That's Yatoro gone. Toronto Tokyo in the trees. Got any escape from this? He hasn't. Silence into the physical of Skeeter. As both cores taken out. And as we're seeing there, even with the farm that Yatoro has, it's just a tough, rough game for Luna.
Pugna does have
Radiant's
wild
bottom
axes,
tower is
so
under attack.
they can kind of defend, especially if Tundra dives a little bit too heavily. Oh man, Mira's dead again.
They're ready to just jump. Godlike 9, 23 minutes in. They left it in the draft. You've got to imagine, as you said, a team like Spirit, they wouldn't have forgotten about it. They must have considered that,
Radiant's bottom tower
that they had the answers, and we're not seeing any of that at all. He's 904, diving up towards the fountain now. Tundra feeling that comfortable. I mean, Skeeter might die for this. He does. And they didn't quite get the Rex, so maybe getting a little bit ahead of themselves there, Tundra, as the Rex will stay up. And yeah, Tundra, they'll lose their carry.
That's classic Tundra. It's either Skeeter or 9 that ends up dying by their fountain. That's the way she goes, and gives Spirit a little bit of an opening into the game. I think otherwise they probably would have been Vraxed. Although I feel like things can't get any worse for Mira. You know, it's oh boy. After that buyback, like if he dies again, his hero's just deleted from the game. He is going for a Vlad's, by the way, so just opting to be
Radiant
that
are
aura guy.
scanning.
We'll see here. I mean, there are 3 heroes dead. Tundra, they had all the chance to just go for the building. But of course, as the temptation, even sets in, even in these top-level professional games, sometimes kills are just that much more appealing. But of course, many times, you don't get away with them if you're going up towards the fountain.
They can't turn it off. Tundra, they always have to dive. It's what wins them the early game, and it's what throws them the mid game. But they're also they've gotten so used to doing this shit that they're very good at resetting after doing this once. They very rarely bleed and make it even worse. It's usually just either Skeeter or 9. They do this and then they smoke like this. Mid, jump on collapse. Now keep him locked down.
Under attack.
I've got the creeps moving in on the mid lane, so Tundra getting very close to being able to go for a second attempt at a barracks.
See, what does Miposhka have stolen? He's still working with the axes. He's loving the axes. Double nuke out the wave. He does not have a TP on Rubick, so he's just slowly waddling back while his Rax dies.
Is under attack.
And there we go. Back to business for Tundra. The bottom Rax taken out.
Radiant's bottom
And Skeeter blinking in.
All right.
Now I've got the Rax. Now I can look to try and get some kills.
Yeah, he's having fun with this. As they do. That's a psychopath right there. That's a madman. Get him off my screen. Insane.
Lord Miposhka, he's under the ward.
Dire's middle
God.
tower is under attack.
Dude, it's so funny when Rubick takes so much damage, he just explodes and his body flops everywhere. That happens with Pudge as well. Although it feels like when you're playing a Pudge or Rubick, it just happens every single time you die because you're so squishy, you always get overkilled. Denies the DD with the illusion. That's something. We're so close to 420. Well, not today. That's not going to happen today.
It's all right. Lincoln Sphere, still a fair bit of gold away. Even when it is done, he might be able to live, but will he be able to kill?
I mean, it's 1 in Feeble. Like, it's so easy with Bane to cancel Lincolns now. It's just nowhere near as impactful as it was in the last game, just because of all the Lincolns cancels, all of the abilities that you need a Lincolns to avoid. It's like, okay, let's say you block the Fiend's grip. Well, what are you going to do about the Roar? It's BKB piercing. What are you going to do about the Doom? It's BKB piercing. What are you going to do about the Reality Rift? It's BKB piercing. Like, it's just not... just doesn't look as good as the last game. This is really tough for Spirit. They have to do crazy stuff in the next team fight, and they did in the first game.
They did.
They were able to pull some good stuff off.
Right.
It didn't win them the game, but it's going to need to go back to that.
Dire's bottom tower.
See, they're going to have to get ready to try for it soon as Tundra closing in on the top lane.
Dire's structures are fortified.
On the tier 2.
Are scanning.
Shortly to be taken. Team Spirit are going to have to be prepared for that high ground defense. Roshan is up, so likely the Tundra will settle back and grab that one before going for another high ground siege.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yep, Roche is up. Scan was just used, so Spirit has an idea of what's happening right now, but they still can't be entirely sure. Like, all of Tundra could be just waiting for them on a high ground. So there's just no contesting this. Think of the shard too. What shards do we have here? East shard, it's pretty nice. Cancel Lincoln, although it does die to the AoE that's going through. CK shard, so of course it's gonna be CK. He doesn't have his own shard yet.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not as good as it once was. Cast range was reduced by half, but still incredible. I mean, imagine giving any other carry, they press a spell on a 10-second cooldown and their damage is doubled. Like, that would be insane on, anti-mage or any other carry, and that's what CK shard does.
Spirit choosing just the right time to get out of there as Tundra head back to see if they can catch any of those heroes trying to push out at least one wave. There we go. So further defensive items done. Toro's got his Lincolns. Toronto Tokyo has the Eon Disc. It's not really until that next item's done on your Toro, if he gets the time to. Be too scared of the Luna. Needs that damage item.
Oh, the Chuck Skeeter.
He's ready to go deep here. And he's going to lead in, look for the Rubick. We'll manage to get the Rubick out of the side. He's threw down the Linkers to keep him safe there. Coils out. And have managed to catch Skidder with the snap of the Dream Coil to the Dragon Tail stun, but because he has got that Aegis, even if they do manage to take him out the once, and they won't be able to do so, Tundra's fine.
So what cooldowns did Spirit use there? Just the coil, it seems. I guess
got the Dragon form,
DK form, but I'm not sure how impactful that is at this point. He's really a stun and you know, some damage reduction. So basically the coil.
Damage.
And Tundra, they keep the Aegis alive. So yeah, kind of like a null fight, zero-sum fight. They're all just chilling. But now Skeeter, he's got the DD, so he's feeling like a big boy. A lot of unspent gold too. Skeeter's sitting on 3,400 gold, 3,200 gold. He's not completed the full Octarine. I think he's about to pick that up, unless he wants buyback. Nope, he says screw buyback. I'm not gonna die. Get my Octarine. Have that permanent spirit form. Yeah, 100% uptime on this thing is just crazy. It's just way too good. Like, look at the Orchid range on 9, man. It's a whole screen. Like, you can't even see the circle when you hover over it. Yeah, if you zoom out, yeah. Come on. Just come on. What the hell is that? Oh, my God. Have mercy, Gaben. Get him off. Come on. These men are savages.
Spirit trying to bait here with your Toro. Smoked up behind him. See if they can maybe get out, get some vision control back on their side of the map. Dangerous mission for them to be on, though.
Skeeter's just like, ooh, juicy heroes to kill. All right, don't mind if I do. And then they run back into the base. Yeah, well, I mean, what the hell else can they do right now?
They've got to wait for this push to come and then something. I don't know what, if anything.
Yeah, Tundra's not giving it to them, man. They're not. They're chilling. They're getting their items. They're having fun with this one. They want to get to their, you know, late game items. You know, the people. Oh. He does have an Eon disc, so like they're trying to get out and do stuff. Toronto Tokyo's trying to de-ward, but doesn't even get the ward that was on the high ground there. Has to run away. He got one click on it though. Next time, on the next adventure, he'll go de-ward that. Yeah, Tundra is showing a lot of respect here. It kind of feels like one of those games where you know that you've won the game, but like you're really close to finishing like a Shiva's Guard or something. You just want it for the end screen.
Yeah, I think it's where they just picked up the Nullifier, the Skeeter.
Yeah, it's about the unspent gold for sure. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Bit of a poke coming in. We'll get the BKB out of 33. But over to the bottom 9. Heading in to try and find Toronto Tokyo. There you have it, the range. With a knockback into the rift, into the stun. Can't quite get it inside. Toronto Tokyo's out.
Remember when Nullifier canceled TP? Because it counts as an item.
Like as a thing you were purging, yeah.
Yeah. No, because it muted items.
Oh, it did, yeah.
So it muted your TP.
Yep.
Which is the goofiest thing. So yeah, still very even. But even's not the right word. We're chill.
Even?
Yeah, we're not even. No, no fight.
It's been 98%.
There's no fights happening. That's what I mean. We're just chilling.
Yeah.
It's been 10 minutes since the last real team fight. Tundra's looking for the right opportunity.
Laps. That's the kill. That's something for Team Spirits. They catch Snaking. question is if they can really go for anything more. They'll opt to take the outpost back under their control.
Pretty sure that's Spirit's last smoke. Let me see, do they have any more? Yeah, I think that's their last smoke. So they can't do this again. That's their last chance to get out like that.
Now look at this. Again, yeah, good reactions on Collapse. As he's able to walk out of this. Bottom a few ways, pushed out. Whilst Tundra might not be in such a rush to end the game. Spirit, they're not really giving them the chance to do so, even if they wanted to. They're still getting out on the map, keeping the creep momentum away from their base, pretty much all 3 lanes, which is pretty impressive considering they're down to 19k. And against 3 very farmed cores.
I think Tundra is also respecting the high ground defense of Spirit. Even Rubick stealing Wild Axes with the Fade Bolts, damage reduction from that, damage reduction from the Wraith Pact on Pugna, Nether Ward, Luna constantly glaving and beaming, and I mean DK Fireball. It's really hard to push into this lineup.
And Yaturo's getting there with the Daedalus. It's very close to being done.
It's done.
So he's gonna have some damage.
He is the top net worth. He's done it. He's taken every single creep wave.
As I say, it's nowhere near the sort of the ease of being able to 1v5 as it was for him last game on a PA. Luna, it's different. But maybe there's a chance from him. A Collapse. They get gone on by Skeeter. They'll try and jump in to help out, but that's going to be Collapse going down. No buyback on him. Tundra may still choose to hold back until Roshan. It's potentially going to be there soon. We'll see. That's the longer respawn. Tundra want to wait. It's going to be many more minutes and maybe a chance for Yatoro to be able to push these lanes out carefully from close towards the base and far away from Tundra that might be able to start working on his next item.
Nine is close to a Bloodthorn. This is a very farmed Coddle. I think, I know I said this last game, but I think we are closing in on Rapier territory for Yatoro. I feel like I'm a broken record on that one.
I think this game for sure.
This game, it feels right. I mean, he's got the lifesteal from the Mask of Madness, so I can understand wanting to finish the Satanic. If you get a Rapier, the Satanic becomes necessary afterwards anyway, so it makes sense to get that first. But I think if you're Spirit, you're holding out, thinking like, okay, once we have the Rapier, then Luna does actually look pretty damn solid in the late game. I mean, it's a weird thing to play for, and people don't try to play for it. But you can clear the CK illusions, you can clear all the BM summons. You can turn and right-click through the Doom because you're not breaking the important abilities like with PA. So there's a very hyper late game timing here where Spirit might actually have the power edge.
Radiant's top tower.
Nice illusion rune as well. That will help Yatoro continue to keep some of these lanes pushed out. Collapse. He's going to open up with a stun. Onto the Doom here. Nightmare coming in to try and break the combo, but it's going to be Saxa still going down. Skeeter's in with the BKB. There'll be a buyback straight away with the Pugna. Skeeter falling low. They're going to be able to take him out. The physical from Yatoro at this stage. Too much for Skeeter to be able to tank. Team Spirit, 2 big kills. Just going to show that they may have been given that 2% on the probability, but Spirit absolutely not out of it quite yet. Yatoro may just have that shot of carrying this.
Not looking bad. It really isn't.
I mean, you saw how quickly they killed Skeeter.
I can't help but feel that the Wraith Pact plus the Nether Ward too, it's doing a lot of damage reduction in this fight.
I mean, could they themselves get Roshan? I mean, Skeeter, did you buy back on the CK?
Yeah, you definitely, they buy back. They're trying to force it. They're trying to force the buyback out here by just being aggressive.
Yatoro, he's taking the Roshan.
He is. I would be surprised if Skeeter did not buy back.
The jump, they're going to punch up the high ground. They managed to burst through the Bane. Snaking has to buy back. C33 is up on the cliff. The BKB TP, he'll make it out of there. The TP's able to watch the tier 2 mid, so he'll be able to walk back over. Will-O-Wisp is going to be dropped, but Spirit, they can deal with that. Yatoro takes it down. It really, though, Tundra's still just trying to buy time for themselves so that they don't have to use the buyback on Skeeter. Saxa will drop the Doom down, but the Aegis will give a bit of protection here for the puck. Still, Toronto Tokyo gets knocked back into the blast of 9. The heals, they're trying to keep the puck alive. Mirror with the light, it's not enough. 9 catches him with the blast, but to the side, Spirit, they'll still be ready to get kills themselves. They bring down Saxa. Over in the River Mirror, being chased down here. The Hawks dive bombing in on top of the Pugna, roared out of the game by 33.
Yatoro still has BKB, and he just finished a Satanic too. This fight doesn't look so bad for Spirit.
No, yeah, it doesn't. Yatoro he's doing it. And we have the full Satanic done. He's got his next item out. An incredibly hard game to carry from the position they were in, but Yatoro, he's doing it.
Walking right into Roche, man. The confidence on this guy. He just feels strong right now.
I mean, there's no Saxa for 40 seconds. They'll drop the Will-O-Wisp. Quickly look to take it out. Collapse, popping the BKB in the other Dragon Form to get in on top of the support. So get in with the jump stun onto the Bane. Snaking out of the game for 95. There's no buyback on him. Skeeter, he'll turn, take out Collapse. Toronto Tokyo's been held in position by now by the Nightmare. Into the stun. I'll take out another. Yatoro's going to be careful now.
He's got a 1v5 here.
He's going to try and do it with the BKB, but the Roar is there. It's too much for him to take on alone. With the rest of the team dead, nothing to help out their Luna that time round. Tundra, they'll get in the Roche. They'll get themselves that Aegis. And now with the push coming in, hard to see what Spirit can do now at this stage. As of course, that Satanic purchase meant that the gold is not going to be there for a buyback for Yatoro.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but 9 on the Coddle is massacring the backlines in these fights. He just has such range that from his own backlines, he can massacre the enemy backlines. Like, killing these Spirit supports just means that the cores can't do what they want. Doesn't matter how much net worth they have, it doesn't matter how much damage they're doing. If they don't have the healing, the damage reduction from these supports, honestly, especially Mira, the Wraith Pact in the Netherward are massively impactful. This looks like they're playing against Mega Creeps here.
Yeah, Tundra's going to not try and go for the game close quite yet. They'll go for the safer way out, get the Megas secured. The question is, can Spirit buy 30 seconds to get one more fight going with the two cores? Tundra pushed pretty fast. They're onto the tier 4s.
Where's the Wraith Pact? That didn't die.
Mira, helping caught. They get the jump stun. The Pugna in trouble. Mira's out of the game. Tundra back onto the tier 4s. 10 seconds until Yatoro's back in. Maybe a chance for one more fight here from Team Spirit. As the fire is burning through Skeeter. Skeeter getting incredibly low. That's the Aegis gone. The Ancient's exposed, but Yatoro and Toronto Tokyo are back up. They're going to get the coil onto the 3 of them. Yatoro, he's got to pick his fight perfectly here. The stun. Skeeter down to half HP. He's going to be picked up. Defensive Nightmare comes into play. They try and jump forward, but Yatoro's going to be fine. Gets the BKB and the Lincoln's up. He's okay. There's another Will-O-Wisp. Hero will be back up in 10 seconds. Toronto Tokyo, the blast. He's down. No puck. And Yatoro himself with the BKB on cooldown. Very, very vulnerable. Skeeter jumps in. Stun not going to catch. The blink dodge is there for collapse.
I'm pretty sure Toronto Tokyo had Stormcrafter up for that, but just didn't press it. And when the camera shots go, like, he's looking a little rattled in this game. Like, Tundra, they have dismantled Spirit in this game, and it's coming from the mid lane.
There goes the burn, straight in, into the Raw. 33 opens up the lockdown onto Yatoro, and that'll be that. Oh, he's got a buyback. I mean, okay, it's not over yet. Tundra still not quite able to close it.
Radiant's Ancient is
The buyback was there this time for Yatoro.
I love that they're pinging the Wraith Pact totem too. They're like, guys, we need to kill this. This is genuinely impactful.
Spirit are holding. Only just, but there's the jump. Off the low stone towards him. They're trying to protect Yatoro, but the stun controls there. Yatoro, he's BKB's dead, it doesn't matter. He's dead. And surely that'll be that. The Ancient, it's going to go down. GG is called as Tundra will take this game 3, and with that, of course, the